This video is a full gym guide video, and I really wanted to make this video for a while now. So I don't want to waste your time like all the other fitness influencers out there who make videos like do these 10 exercises to grow your muscles 10 times quickly, or 10 tips for beginners for faster growth, or anything like that, which you watch and your life is not so different anyway afterwards. So this is not one of those videos. It's like a full guide, in-depth guide. I will be walking you through my fitness journey, and I'll be explaining everything that I did right and everything that I did wrong in a way. So if you're someone who always wanted to build a really healthy and good looking body, then this video will literally tell you everything so that you know exactly what you have to do the next time to get what you want, which is your dream body. So if you're really up for it, if you're ready to take that challenge and take that step forward, then pay attention to this whole video. I would really suggest you guys to take a piece of paper and a pen and start writing down all the points that I'll be saying or I'll be covering in this video. So before we head into these individual sections in this video, I want to give you guys a small short story or brief you guys about my fitness journey. So I started going to the gym during the COVID time. I think it was like mostly mid or late 2021. So what basically happened was it was COVID and we were all on our mobile phone swiping through Instagram, and I was seeing all these fitness clips and videos. So I was thinking, okay, I just need to go to the gym and do all these things and I'll get a really good looking body. That's so easy. So just like all of you idiots out there who watch these nowadays Andrew Tate and David Goggins motivation videos and go to the gym, same thing. So I just called my friend and asked him, hey, let's just go to the gym. It's pretty easy. Let's do it. And he was like, yeah, let's do it. So that's how I got started. I started going to the gym with my friend. But then again, just like all of you guys out there, I did not have any knowledge. It was zero. I had zero knowledge about working out, weight training, fitness, dieting, all these things. I did not know anything. And like you expect, after 3 months, I still did not see any changes. And the trainer was pretty bad. He was just asking us to put a lot of weights and do a lot of reps, do like 7 different exercises for one muscle group and all this bullshit. I did not see any change at all. And then obviously, just like you guys, I stopped going to the gym. However, the difference being I did not stop there. I decided to buy some weights and equipment and start to train in my house. And I did. But this time, I learned literally everything that's related to exercising. So I learned bicep curls. I knew that doing barbell rows will build your back. But if you have a different grip, it will target a different muscle. You have lower back, you have upper back. So I did that. And then I started to train at my house for a few months. And I was seeing changes. So with my knowledge and the weights that I had at my house, I started to work out a lot. And then I started to see changes. But this still was not enough for me to get that body that I always desired. So what was I missing? I figured out that, okay, I'm working a lot, but I'm not eating well. So if I don't eat well, if I don't eat right, how do I expect my body to grow? So that's when I started to learn a lot more about dieting, the importance of protein. What do you mean by carbs? How does fat help you? I started to learn about all those things, and then I started to implement that too. So that was kind of like the second phase of my journey. Then the third phase would be me joining a gym near my college and implementing everything that I learned there to see changes. However, I still had a lot of breaks in between this period. And because of these breaks, my growth was very slow. It was not progressive, it was pretty damn slow. So even when I say I've been training for 3 years, I've only trained for like 1.5 to 2 years effectively, right? So that's how my journey started. Now I go to the gym consistently. I've been going to the gym consistently for like 6 months. I've been following a fairly decent diet now. I'll talk about all those things later in this video in each individual sections. And the changes that I've been seeing lately is like crazy. So yeah, that's my journey. And now through this video, my intention is to tell you guys how you could maximize your muscle growth by not wasting a lot of time like I did. So that's the whole purpose. Okay, so the first section that I want to cover in this video is diet. And the reason why I'm putting this section above anything else is just to break your limiting beliefs regarding diet. Okay, so let me just give you a brief idea about how I learned a lot about diet, right? So I'll just tell you my story. So when I started going to the gym, like I said, I went with one of my friend. So I did not know anything about dieting back in the days. So my friend would come to my house and he would pick me up and then we would go to the gym together. So whenever he came to my house to pick me up, he would always ask me, "Hey bro, what did you eat?" And I would be like, "Oh, I just had my lunch." Then he would go on and say, "Oh, if you're going to the gym, you should probably have something that has carbohydrates because you need carbohydrates to have enough energy to work out in the gym." So I was like, "Okay, you need carbs. So how do I get carbs?" So rice has a lot of it's a good source of carbohydrates. So I started to eat a lot of rice before going to the gym. So yes, I started to eat a lot of rice before going to the gym. But then my friend would go on and tell me, "You also need to eat protein if you need to build more muscle." So I was like, "Okay, now I need to add protein." So I asked him, "How do I get more protein?" He would tell me to eat more chicken. So, but I cannot eat chicken every day because here in India, at least, we only buy chicken on the weekends. So all of these things seemed to be overwhelming for me. I was pretty overwhelmed. But then again, I started to eat fish, vegetables, rice, everything that I could get every day before going to the gym. But I was still not seeing any changes in the gym. I was putting in a lot of effort and work, but the output that I was getting was pretty damn bad. Like I said, in the first 3 months, I did not see any changes. So obviously, I lost my motivation to go to the gym. So yes, eventually I stopped going to the gym and started to train at my house. And even though I started to see some good changes in my body because I was doing the exercises properly, I was still not satisfied enough with my result as for the amount of input that I was putting in. So this got me really annoyed. So at this point, I knew I would probably have to improve my diet if I want to progress to the next level. So I started to learn more about it, and that's when I, started to engage with all these terms like calorie surplus, calorie deficit, and macronutrients, protein, fat, carbohydrates, blah blah blah, whatever. So that's how I started to work more on my diet. Don't get me wrong, even today, it's really hard for me to maintain a proper diet and track everything that I'm eating. But that's just what it is. So it is very difficult, but I will tell you guys how you can optimize your diet according to your needs so that you can maximize your muscle growth efficiently. So yeah, by the end of this section, you will have a good idea about what you're eating and why you should eat it. So talking about diet, food, and whatever you eat, there are only two things that you should be concerned about, and the first thing is carbohydrates. Now you won't have any problem finding carb-rich food, and carb basically gives you energy. You can eat a lot of carb before going to the gym. Now, when I say before going to the gym, probably like 1 hour before going to the gym, and it should be eat as much as you want, and it should be sufficient to fuel you throughout your workout, right? You can go on and eat rice, some vegetables, some fish, and maybe even some chicken with it. And also you can eat some carb when you're back from the gym because you'll be tired and carb will help you regain some more energy. So that's about carb. It's easy, carb gives you energy, eat as much as you want, and the whole purpose of carb is to give you that energy to work out in the gym. That's it, nothing else. Now the second thing is protein. And don't listen to your mom, don't listen to your dad, don't listen to your grandparents, don't listen to the guy on Instagram. Listen to me. Just listen to me. Now, as for protein, a normal guy, that is a guy, let's say your dad. Let's say your dad doesn't work out. All he does is he wakes up in the morning, has his breakfast, goes to the office, he eats his lunch, comes back, watch a lot of TV, talk to his family, then go on and sleep. So that's a normal guy. And a normal person, just like your dad, or a guy that I just mentioned, should eat 1 times his body weight in grams. Now, what do I mean by that? So let's say this particular guy weighs about 80 kilograms, then he should ideally consume 80 grams of protein every day. How did I get that figure? 1 times his body weight in kilograms equals to the figure in grams. That's the amount of protein a person, an average person, a normal person should eat every day. But do you think everyone, at least in India, consumes that much of protein in a single day? Let alone the amount of protein that he should be consuming if he's going to the gym? No, I don't even think my parents eats more than, I don't know, 30 grams of protein, gets 30 grams of protein from their diet. I don't think so. So that's the reality. So I'm not gonna sit here and talk about 1,000 different reasons why a person should have a diet that consists of a lot of protein. But I think now that I've explained how much protein a normal person should consume, it should be pretty obvious to you. Okay, so what's the purpose of protein? So protein basically helps in your muscle recovery. It helps to build your muscle up. It increases the size of your muscle. Now, what happens? Let's say, okay, this is my bicep, right? This is my hands. So when I'm going to the gym, when I'm exercising, what's basically happening is that I'm expanding and then contracting. So expansion and contraction, this is basically bicep curls, right? And what's happening is that I'm breaking down my muscle fibers right here. So that's why you feel a lot of soreness the next day that you work out. So it's that your muscle fibers are being broken down. So you break down your muscle fibers, you come home, and let's say you eat some chicken or drink a protein shake. Now what happens is that if you're consuming whey is a fast digesting protein. So it goes into your body, it goes to your arms, your biceps, whatever, goes to that particular muscle, and it helps rebuild these broken down muscles, right? And as it is rebuilding that muscle, your muscle will come out to be bigger. It will rebuild and it increases your muscle mass. So this is how protein helps you get big or build more muscle. So in a nutshell, protein helps you build more muscle mass and increases your muscle size. That's it. And you're going to the gym to break down these muscles, you're consuming protein to build it back up. That's it, that's all, it's basic, this is all it is. Okay, now you would probably go on and tell me, oh, so if I'm going to the gym, I should probably eat a lot of protein, right? Yes, you should eat a lot of protein to grow your muscles effectively. However, there's a catch though. So let's talk about it. So again, if you want to build your muscles effectively and quickly, you should consume about 1.5 to 2 times your body weight. So I'm 78 kilograms, right? So I should be ideally consuming about, 2 times 78 is 156 grams. I should ideally be consuming 156 grams of protein every day, or 1.5 times whatever that figure is. So this would pretty much help me gain as much as muscle I can in the shortest period of time. That's it. But some days I cannot eat much, some days I cannot get that 150 grams of protein. So I try to get at least 100 grams of protein. And it's still good. It is still good. So what I'm trying to say is, you can still grow your muscles even if you're not taking 2x times your weight. Like even if you're not taking 100 to 150 grams of protein every day. It's just that it won't be that fast and it won't be that optimized or efficient, but you can still grow your muscles. Some people may not have that much money to have a high protein diet. Some people may not have enough time to cook high protein food or meals. What do? So that's what I want to talk about in this section. So yeah, don't believe all these fitness gurus and influencers on the internet saying, oh, there's no point going to the gym if you cannot hit this amount of protein every day. It's just crap. Just don't buy that bullshit. So this is why I wanted to put this section first, to destroy your limiting beliefs, because you're seeing all this trash on the internet. So like, do you really think that back when I was in college, I had a really high protein diet to build a body like this? No, I did not. I did not have that much money. I did not have that much time to prepare meals. I had college. I was busy. So what did I do? So back when I was in college, I used to eat everything. So I used to stay in this PG as a paying guest. So I used to eat everything that my PG gave me, which were basically a lot of rice in the afternoon. I used to eat a lot of rice, like a plate full of rice, veggies, and in the morning I would get breakfast. That's also something made of rice. And and for dinner I would get 2 chapatis or 2 rotis, again, and some veggies. And I used to get meat 2 times a week. Literally that. So what did I do on top of that? What did I eat on top of that? So I used to buy this very cheap whey protein from, I think it was Muscle Place. I'm not sure, or Big Muscle, some company. It was a crude whey. I don't think you can find that on Amazon or Flipkart these days. I think they removed it. But it only cost like 900 rupees for a kilogram. So I used to buy that, and I take one scoop of that every day with this amount of milk that I used to get from my PG. And then I used to eat 100 grams of peanut every day, 4 slices of wheat bread with some peanut butter. That's it. That's all I was eating to get some protein. And if you add it all up, that alone was what, 70 grams of protein every day? Yeah, and like 2 days in a week I get chicken, so maybe it goes up to like 80 or 90 grams during those days. So even with this diet, I was able to build some muscle like you saw. And yeah, I was not even working out every day or anything. I was just only going to the gym 4 times a week, and I was only training for like 1.5 hours a day. Like I said, I was pretty busy back in college. Most of the people are. So yes, to break your limiting belief, it is correct that you can build a lot of muscle and your body will recover better if you eat a lot of protein. But that does not mean that even if you're consuming less protein than what your body requires, you cannot make gains. So what I'm trying to say is you cannot be 100% ready for everything. Sometimes you just have to head into it and start doing it, and everything else follows, right? Okay, so if you're a college student or a school student, stop fucking complaining, stop being a brat, stop spending all your money on those shitty processed food and sodas and all those things. Save up some money to buy 1 kg whey protein. It would probably cost you about 2,000 rupees at this point. And replace all your shitty processed food and snacks with maybe like 4 wheat bread every day, eat about 80 to 100 grams of peanut, drink 500 milliliters of milk, eat about 4 to 6 eggs every day, and yeah, that alone will give you like 90, 100 grams of protein every single day. I'm sure your friend probably has a kettle, so you can easily boil your eggs. You can even go and get some green grabs, which are very cheap. So yeah, that's that. So yes, I've basically solved the protein constraint for you. All you have to do is just follow what I just said. You'll be getting enough carbs anyway, so you don't even have to worry about that. And if you think you're not getting enough carbs, or if you feel tired, just eat those 4 wheat bread slices before going to the gym, because bread will give you that energy, carbs. And one important thing is that if you have some kind of problem with consuming more dairy products, I would suggest you guys to only consume about 3 or 4 eggs every day, only 1 scoop of whey protein, and less amount of milk, maybe like 250 or 300 milliliters of it. I personally have some problems with dairy products. I used to consume 2 scoops of whey protein, 700 milliliter of milk, and like 6 eggs every day, and I started to get some problems with my skin. So even now I have some acne problems, because for the last 1 week I've been consuming more milk for some reason. So I probably have to stop. So that's that. So yes, I've just given you guys a really cheap diet to get about 80 to 100 grams of protein. I think 100 grams of protein is like the sweet spot for most of the people. So you can follow that diet that I just said. Now, if you're someone who has some money to spend, let's say you have a job, then getting a high protein diet should not even be a problem for you. So I would suggest you guys to just get some chicken breast. Eat about 100 to 150 grams of chicken breast every day. Take a scoop of whey protein, 4 to 5 eggs, and 300 milliliter milk. That alone should give you like 115 to 120 grams of protein every day, easy. So yeah, but now don't come at me and say, oh, I have a job, I don't have enough time to cook chicken. Shut the fuck up. You have money, you have a job, save up for an air fryer, just buy it, get the chicken, get the boneless chicken breast, it's pretty cheap, get it, wash it, clean it, marinate it, put it in the fucking air fryer, let it cook, just eat it, that's it. So again, all of your problems are being solved right here in this video. You should be happy at this point. So now that we have covered everything about diet, now that you know what you should eat and why you should eat, you just need to find a good gym and start working out. But there is one more thing that you guys should know, and that is calories. Now, what do you mean by calories? Now, calories is just a fancy name for energy or fuel for humans, right? So your body needs X amount of calories to function properly every day. For example, let's say I should probably require about 2000 or maybe even 2500. I'm not sure. So each person would have X amount of calories every day for his body to function. So basically, you would have to supply your body that amount of calorie through food. So whatever you eat has some X amount of calories, right? Just go to a store, pick up a chocolate or anything that you want, and just flip it over and look at the numbers there, and you would see it would actually say energy or calories. So that's the amount of calories that that particular item would have. Okay, so now for all those people who are out there who's gonna ask me, how do I reduce my belly fat? My beloved brother and sister, you cannot spot reduce belly fat. You have to reduce your fat wholly. That's the only way to get rid of belly fat. And to do that, you should stop eating a lot of food. Stop eating a lot of food. Go on a calorie deficit. Now, this is the point where I introduce the term calorie deficit. Now, what do I mean by this? Now, the process basically consists of you feeding your body less than what it actually requires to function properly. Now, let's say your body requires 1500 calories every day, but you're only eating so much that it gets 1000 calories every day. Now, what ends up happening is that when your body runs out of the fuel, which is the calorie, it starts to take your fat and use it as a fuel. Let's say I need 2500 calories every day, but I'm only eating food that equates to about 1500 calories. So when that is done, when my body consumes it all, it still needs to function, right? It's not like your body is not like a mobile phone that just dies. Your body still needs to function. So what happens is that your body starts to use all of your fat as a fuel. And when it is doing this, your body is taking up your fat and it's burning it out. And this is how you actually burn your fat. This is how you burn your belly fat, your face fat, and everything. You eat less, you supply less calories to your body so that you're forcing your body to take more fat and use it as fuel to function. That's calorie deficit. So now that you know how to actually burn your fat and get lean, all you have to do is just to go on a calorie deficit. Now, how do I do that? You go to Google, search, I don't know, calorie calculator. You probably would have to type in your height and weight, and then it will give you the amount of calories that your body needs. So once you have that number, maybe install an app from the Play Store or App Store and make a diet of your liking and take off the things from your diet that you just made so that the whole calorie that it all adds up to, that particular calories, is less than what your body needs, and then stick to that diet for a while. So if you're a fat dude, start eating less, do some cardio, start to run. So this will burn even more calories, and this is also good for your heart. And eat more protein so that during this whole process you're not losing muscle, because that's something that could happen too. When you're on a calorie deficit, if you're not supplying your body with enough protein, your body could also use your muscle as a fuel and you could end up losing muscle. Let's just put it that way. So take enough protein, less calories, go for a run every day, walk like 8,000 to 10,000 steps every day, do some cardio, workout. If you're a fat dude, this should help you get lean. You don't even have to go and do weight training for this. It's easy. Okay, so that was for a fat dude. Now let's just say you're a lean or a skinny fat guy. Okay, you're skinny, you're lean, you don't have a lot of muscles, just like how I used to be back in the days, right? So what you need to do is to eat a lot of protein and eat a lot of food. Just that's it. So this is known as calorie surplus. Just the opposite of calorie deficit. So let's say my body needs 2000 calories, I would probably eat the food that equates to about 2500 calories. So this is the way to put on some size. But mind you should consume a lot of protein too, because your main idea is to build the muscle. But more calories will give you that size, give you volume. So what ends up happening is that you're building all your muscles. But don't come and ask me how to build a six pack when you're a fucking beginner. It is not possible for you to build a six pack when you're on a calorie surplus. So when you're on a calorie surplus, when you're working out, you're not only putting in more muscle, you're also gaining a lot of fat. Now, what people do is, or this is how it should be done. You should probably eat a lot when you're skinny. You should eat a lot, you will build muscle. On top of that, you will also get a lot of fat and your size increases. Now, when you're at a stage where you start to lose your facial definition, your abs become completely invisible, that's when you go on to a calorie deficit, like I just mentioned. So what ends up happening is that on the calorie deficit, you will be shredding off all the fat that you gained. You're not losing muscle because you're consuming enough protein still. And when you shred off all that fat, all the muscles that you put up becomes visible. So that's when you actually get to see your six pack. Because you've been training your abs, so you've been building the muscle, but you cannot see it because it's covered by fat. But when you're on a calorie deficit, when you shred off all the fat, now you can clearly see that packs. So that's how you get a six pack. So don't be an idiot and go to the gym and ask the biggest guy there, how do I get a six pack or how do I get a shoulder like this? This is the protocol, just follow the fucking protocol. So this is what you do if you are skinny fat or if you're lean or just skinny. Go on a calorie surplus, then go on a calorie deficit. That's it. So I think I've covered two different scenarios for two different people, and I have broken all of the limiting beliefs that you people had. So that's about diet. Now let's just head into the next section. So now you know the basics of diet, nutrition, what protein is, what carbohydrate is. Now let me answer your main question of, hey, how do I start going to the gym? How to find a good gym, and then how to be consistent with it. So to answer your question, I would just say, just start going to the gym. Go to any gym. But obviously that's not enough for you. That's why you're right here. So like I just mentioned, I started going to the gym because I saw some random guys on Instagram with good bodies saying that just do this and do that to build a good body. And I also had a friend to give me company while going to the gym. So we did not really care about the quality of the gym or the equipments right there. And honestly, we were just looking for the gym that was closest to our house and the gym that was the cheapest because, we were still students, we were not earning anything. So that's that. So that's how I started going to the gym. But at the same time, I see that it's not that easy for everyone. So there is this weird insecurity in most of the people. So, you might probably be thinking, okay, so if I go join a gym and if I'm skinny or if I'm too fat, what will the people there think? Will they judge me? Will they make fun of me? And honestly, no one gives a shit. No one gives a shit about how you look, what you're doing there. It's all you. Most people are busy looking at themselves in the mirror and focusing on their exercises. No one's going to judge you there. But the people in the gym are so good that if you go and ask them for any kind of help, like if you go and ask someone about an exercise or if you go ask someone to support you, they will definitely help you. And you know what the funny part is? When you start going to the gym and when you start to see changes after a few months and when you look at the mirror, you will actually laugh thinking that the best advice that you could have got back in the days were just go to the gym and just start. Because that is the best advice that I can give you. Now, how do you choose a good gym? So what I would personally recommend is that don't even think about the number of trainers there. They are useless. Most of the trainers are useless unless you're going to a premium gym. So I would suggest you guys to look for gyms that has most of the equipments, that has 2 or 3 bench for you to train your chest and a squat rack and stuff like that. So any average sized gym would have all those things, but just look at that. And then, maybe give them a call. You'll probably find the contact number if you search on Google. Just search gym near me and it'll give you like 10 different gyms which are closer to the place that you reside. And then call all those gyms. You don't even have to go to the gym to check them out if you're scared or insecure about that. So just call them on phone and ask what all equipments they have, how many trainers do they have, and the timings, when do the gym open, when do they close, and the average number of people that goes there, and also at what time the gym is crowded and less crowded. So that will give you an overall idea, and then ask them about the pricing, and then choose whatever works for you. It's that simple. Now, I know a lot of stupid people out there. I've personally met all these guys back in college. And the thing is, these idiots want everything to be perfect and organized before they start something. Now, what do I mean by this? So if you belong to this category of idiots, you'll probably be thinking, okay, so all of this is good. Before I join the gym, I should probably get a pair of training shoes. I should probably go buy some gym wears, like, maybe track pants, shorts, maybe a few dry fit t-shirts. And then maybe I should also buy a water bottle, and maybe I should also buy a pair of gloves. If you are someone like this, you're probably an idiot, because you don't need any of these things to go to the gym. You don't need a shoe. You can literally wear your slippers or any footwear and go to the gym. You don't need a glove. You don't need a glove to lift weights. Just cut that shit. Try to lift weights without using a glove. It will make your grip more stronger. So you don't need that. You can literally wear any kind of pants, or just don't wear jeans. Just don't be an idiot like that. Wear anything else. Wear a normal shorts, and then wear any kind of t-shirts. You can even wear something like this and go to the gym and work out. So cut out all of those constraints and make yourself free. All you have to do is just go pay them. And if the gym is good, so most of the good gyms will actually tell you, bro, you don't have to pay for like 1 or 2 weeks. Just come here and see if you like it. So most of the gyms actually do that. So if they don't offer you, just ask them. Just tell them that, hey bro, I'm new to this. I have never been to gym. So can I come here for like a week and see if this actually works for me? So they'll probably like, okay bro, you don't have to pay. You can just come here and see. Some people would actually come and tell you, hey, please don't pay up. When you're actually going to pay, they would come and say, please don't pay up, just see if you like it, just see if you can come here consistently, and only then pay the money, because going to the gym is actually expensive, and they know that. So if they're good people, they would actually offer you that, or just you can ask them by yourself, even if they're not offering it to you. I know I'm using the word actually too many times. So at this point, you literally don't have anything to lose. You're not paying money for the first week to get the feel of it. You're not buying a shoe. You're not buying any new clothes for gym. You're not buying all these gloves and bullshit. You're not spending any money to try out going to the gym. So what's there for you to lose? So there you go. I've provided you all the solutions. You don't have to spend any kind of money to get started. So you're ready, so you're mentally prepared, and you're excited to go to the gym. You have all the motivation. You watch all these reels and YouTube shorts, and now you're really motivated. You believe that you can get a really good body, muscular body, aesthetic body. Now what's next? I'm assuming you to be a newbie. You've never been to the gym, or maybe you went to the gym for a few weeks and then you stopped. So you're probably a newbie. And you might have heard this thing called newbie gains. And yes, newbie gains, it is a thing. You can grow muscles very quickly at a faster rate if you're a newbie. So obviously you won't be able to sustain this growth for a longer duration, but mostly this will last for a first few months, like maybe 3 or 4 months. So if you actually know what you're doing, and if you're working out properly, you can really maximize the growth during this beginning or this period of time. And in order to do that, the first and the most important thing that you have to do is to learn the exercises. Now, when I say learn the exercise, what I mean is perfecting the form and the technique involved in each different exercise. Right, so I just told you that you should first focus on the form and the technique of every exercise. Now, what do I actually mean by that? So let's say you go to the gym and you want to train your chest. You know that bench press is one of the most effective ways to train your chest, but you don't know how to do it. So you take your phone and search bench press tutorial for beginners, and you'll probably find some good YouTuber with a lot of subscribers and views, and you play that video. In that video, he will tell you a lot of things, and specifically he will give you some cues and instructions that you must follow. And in that YouTube video, that person is telling you to squeeze your shoulder blades, keep your elbows tucked in, and squeeze your chest instead of just pushing the weight just like that. So those are some of the cues that you should have in your mind, or you should know when it comes to bench pressing. And for example, let's say shoulder press, you again have to squeeze your shoulders inwards. You have to brace in, keep your core tight, and then push the weight. So for doing this, I would suggest you guys to take a small weight and then learn all these exercises and try to implement that in the gym. And the best way to do this is by asking your trainer. So he'll probably know how to do all these exercises. So he will explain it to you, and also ask him to stay there for a while and ask him to see if you're doing it right. Or you can ask anyone else in the gym who's experienced to just stand there and support you. Or you can just record yourself on your phone and then review it. So for the first 1 or 2 months, this is what you're going to do. You're going to learn every exercise, and then you're going to go to the gym, take lighter weights, and then you're gonna perfect your form and technique. You're gonna learn the exercise. You're gonna feel the muscle. So this is what you're gonna do in your first 1 or 2 months. So the major mistake the newbies or the people who are new to the gym make is they try to move any amount of weight from a point A to point B, which is completely wrong. It destroys the whole purpose of working out. It's not about how fast or how much weight you can move from point A to point B. It's more like the way that you're moving it, the path of motion, and how your muscle group that you're targeting is responding to the movement. So when you're a beginner, every exercise that you do should be controlled. So focus on controlling the motion or movement with the weights. So what I want you to do is to focus on controlling the movement and the weight, and try to develop that mind and muscle connection. So this is the most important thing. So for example, when you're bench pressing, or let's say when you're, again, easy example, when you're doing bicep curls, you're moving your bicep. So basically you're moving the weight from, let's say, this is point A to point B. This is point B, right? So you should be feeling your bicep contracting and expanding, right? This is contraction and this is expansion. And it's not only about moving the weight from here to here, but it should be about you feeling that burn in your muscle. So that's what you need to keep in your mind when you're working out. So you should be able to develop that mind and muscle connection when you're doing, bicep curl or any exercise. The point is, your hand should not pick up the weight like this. Instead, your bicep should be doing all the work. Your bicep should be pulling it towards your body. So this is the first thing that I want you to do or focus on when you're starting out. So yes, master the form and technique of each exercises as you're learning it. This is very important. Okay, so now I will explain a few concepts that I wish I knew when I first started going to the gym. So the first thing is, when you're doing exercises, when you're working out, when you're lifting weight, try to do each exercise slowly. Now I'll tell you why. So if you go to the gym, go to any gym, and most probably you'll find an idiot who is swinging his arm around. Let's say he's, again, doing bicep curls, because bicep curl is very easy to demonstrate. You might probably see someone who's doing something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and he can probably do about, 12 reps within 20 seconds like that. Now here's the problem though. When he's doing that, yes, he's moving the weight from point A to point B, and he's doing it very fast. But do you really think that he's feeling that muscle contracting and expanding? Probably no. So if you go to that person and ask him to do the same exercise with the same weight, but this time ask him to perform each repetition slowly. Ask him to do each repetition for, let's say 4 seconds. I don't even think he will be able to complete 12 reps with that weight. So this concept that I was just explaining is called time under tension. So like I said, the name is pretty self-explanatory. Time under tension means for what amount of time is your muscle under tension. The best way to grow muscles is to put them under tension. And when you are doing each exercise slowly, you're putting your muscle into more tension. You're making it work harder. So that's why I'm telling you to do each exercise very slowly. Take about 4 to 5 seconds for each repetition, regardless of whatever exercise you're doing. And then do about 10 to 12 reps. Even 10 reps is good. And try to make the whole set means X number of reps. Try to make the whole set last for like 40 seconds something. And this will really help you grow your muscles faster and will make them very stronger. All right, so we covered time under tension. Now the second concept that I want to tell you guys is training till failure. So basically, pretty explanatory. You train until you fail. So how do we do this? How do we execute this? So yeah, basically you should pick a weight, let's say weight X, that lets you perform anywhere between 8 to 12 reps for one set. Because in order to grow muscle, the sweet spot is about 8 to 12 reps. So let's say you pick 5 kg to do your bicep curls, you should probably fail at your 10th or 11th rep in your first 1 or 2 sets. And then on your final set, you can maybe go up to a 7.5 kg dumbbell and then perform till failure, and this will probably give you about 8 reps probably. So that's training till failure. So basically pick any weight that will restrict you from going above let's say 10 to 12 reps, and that should be considered as your working weight. So when you train like this, whenever you hit that 8 to 12 rep range, you cannot lift anymore, and that's called as training till failure. And this is one of the best ways that you can grow your muscle, because you're making your muscles work so hard it cannot lift anymore. So this is one of the best things that you can do while training in the gym. So at this point you might be wondering why I'm specifically mentioning this 8 to 10 reps or 8 to 12 reps, because you've been seeing all these muscular guys like C-Bum and all these people on Instagram lifting heavy weights for fewer reps. So there are two things when it comes to training at gym. So one is building muscle. Sorry, three things. One is building muscle. The second one is endurance training. And the third one is strength training. So if you want to build more strength, you pick heavy weight and do the exercises for shorter reps. And if you want to improve your endurance just means that you can do one specific thing for a longer duration. You just pick a lighter weight and do like 10, 15, 16, like 16 reps of that exercise. But there's a sweet spot, and that's the best way to build muscle, and that is known as hypertrophy. And for hypertrophy, you should be aiming for anywhere between 8 to 12 reps. So that's why I was mentioning that number specifically, which is for hypertrophy training. And hypertrophy training results in maximum muscle growth. Okay, so the third and the last concept that I want to teach you guys is known as progressive overload. Now I know progressive overload, for some people it's confusing. For me, it was definitely confusing at the beginning. Reason being, most people think you're only progressively overloading if you increase the weight, which is not true at all. So you can progressively overload in multiple ways. One of the way how you can do that is obviously by increasing the weight as you train. The other way you can do this is by, again, increasing your time under tension. So you're technically progressively overloading when you are doing each exercise very slowly to make it even more challenging. So that's the whole point. So that's the second way that you can progressively overload. And the other way that you can progressively overload is by increasing your rep range. You can maybe try to add 4 more reps on top of what you're already doing, because again, you're challenging your muscle. So there are many ways you can challenge your muscle more to make it grow more. Yeah. So increasing the weight is not the only way that you can progressively overload. And now let's talk about progressively overloading with weights. So the whole concept is you not sticking to a particular weight X throughout your journey. So now what do I mean by this? I can bench press, let's say I can bench press 60 kg, right? So I can do about 8 or 10 reps. So do you think I will grow more muscle if I go to the gym today and do 3 to 4 sets of bench press with that 60 kg where I'm hitting 8 to 10 reps consistently in every set? No, probably no. So this is how you progressively overload. So I go to the gym, and in my first set, I train about 8 to 10 reps with 60 kg. And in my next set, I would add 2.5 kg to both sides, making the whole weight to add up to 65 kg. And with this weight, I will probably be able to do anywhere about 5 to 8 reps. And then I would stick on to that weight throughout that day. Meaning in the next 3 sets, I'll be performing bench press with that 65 kg weight for about 5 to 6 or even 7 reps, whatever I can. And from the next day onwards, or the next session, I would probably be sticking to this plan until that 65 kg weight becomes too easy for me, or until that 65 kg weight becomes too light for me, so that I can go up to like 10 or 11 reps. Right? So this is how you progressively overload. And another way is starting with 60, doing for 8 to 10 reps for the first set, then 65 kg, doing that for 6 reps, and then going to maybe even a 70 kg with a spotter for even 4 reps. So all of this is basically progressively overloading with weight. But what I would suggest is to stick with the first method that I just told you, which is just take 60 kg for a warm-up set, and then use that 65 kg for 6 or 7 reps, and do that consistently for a month until that 65 kg becomes easy for you. That's the best way that you can progressively overload. And again, at this point, you might already know this. When I say 8 to 10 reps and 6 reps respectively for 60 and 65 kg, it means that till failure, right? My 8 to 10 reps is my failure for 60 kg, and 6 reps is my failure for 65 kg. So you always have to train till failure. That's just there, given. It is given. Okay, so I feel like I've told you guys everything about diet. I told you guys how to pick a gym. I've also told you how to train and how to get started. But you would probably need some kind of workout routine, right? You should know what exercises you want to do. So I'm assuming you're here to build a good-looking body instead of a healthy body, right? Let's all be honest here. I want a good-looking body. You want a good-looking body. So an aesthetic body would comprise of wide shoulders, and you should probably aim to achieve that V-taper. So for this, there are a few muscle groups that you should put on priority, which are your shoulders, your chest, your traps, and then your wings, and obviously your arms. And your legs comes at the bottom of your priority list if aesthetics is what you're training for. But I will give you an overall balanced workout routine. So I'm going to talk about my second phase of going to the gym, which is when I joined the gym near my college when I was educated and all. So what I used to do was I used to train 4 times a day. I was skipping legs, and it was like push, pull, break, and push and pull. So those were my 4 days in the gym. And I picked up easy exercises that targeted kind of all of the important muscles. So on my chest day, I would do flat bench press, I would do incline bench press, and after that I would probably go and do some shoulder presses, dumbbell shoulder presses, and then it was triceps. For triceps I used to do push downs, one with the rope and one with the bar, and to finish it all up I also used to do the cable rows. So that was my push day. And for my pull day, I start off with bent over rows, and then I would do some machine assisted pull-ups because I was not able to do pull-ups back in the days. And after that, I would probably go to the machine and do pull downs for my back, and then seated rows. And then I would do bicep curls with dumbbells, a neutral one and a hammer curl, as a few sets of hammer curls. So that's what I used to do back in the days. Now, except for that bent over row, every other exercise that I used to do was beginner friendly. It's something that I would recommend a beginner. So if you're new, just drop that bent over row and you can follow this workout routine that I just mentioned. Now, what I want you to focus is that I always start off with a compound movement. Bench press is a compound movement. Bent over row is a compound movement. Pull-ups is a compound movement. Squats is a compound movement. Deadlifts is a compound movement. So you need your maximum energy, or you should be fresh to perform compound movements. That's why we are performing these compound exercises in the beginning of our workout. Now, if you don't know what compound movement is, it's basically an exercise that involves a lot of different muscle groups. When you're doing bench press, your chest is involved, your tricep and your front delts are involved, and a lot of other small muscle groups too. So we always start with a compound movement. And I also used to train my legs once in a while. So I used to start off with squats, and then I used to do some leg presses on the machine, and then some hamstring curls, and quad raises and calf raises. That's pretty much a standard workout routine for legs. You can follow it if you want. But now let's just try to prepare a workout routine for a beginner like you. Okay, so let me just write this down for you. So we will start with push day, and on a push day we are targeting our chest, our shoulders, and our triceps. So you start off with bench press, do 3 sets of flat bench press, then incline bench press for 3 sets. And for shoulders, so there's this thing about shoulders. For most people, their front delt will be overdeveloped because it is involved with bench press, right? So I would suggest you to do the shoulder press regardless because you're a beginner. So you can probably do 3 sets of seated dumbbell shoulder presses, and then lateral raise is the most shoulder exercise because, like I said, if you want a good looking body, you should have that width, and your lateral raise is what's going to give you that side delt. So if you want your shoulder to look more wider, you should be doing lateral raises. So 3 sets of lateral raise, and for now this should be enough for shoulders and chest. And for triceps, just do the push down, right? Do the push down with the barbell, and then also do the push down with the rope. So 3 sets of bar tricep push down and 3 sets of rope tricep push downs. So that's your push day done. And again, this is for beginners. So you don't have to do 10 different exercises for each muscle group. Just do 2 exercises for one specific muscle group. Most of the gym trainers out there will ask you to do 5 or 6 different exercises for one single muscle group, and they will ask you to put a lot of weight and all those bullshit. Don't buy that. Just do this. Follow what I'm saying. And for your pull day, I will not suggest you guys to perform bent over rows. It's a really difficult exercise. But what I want you to do is to do pull-ups with your own body weight. Most probably you won't be able to do it. So if you cannot do it, find a gym that has a supported or weighted pull-up machine. So just go there and use that pull-up machine to do 3 sets of 12 pull-ups, right? Do that to begin with. It's a compound exercise. It's a good way to begin your workout. And after that, you'll be training your wings, and for that, go to the lat pull down machine and do the pull downs for your lats. And do that for like 3 or 4 sets of 12 reps, 10 to 12 reps each. That's pretty much good. And after doing that, you can just go to the seated row machine and then do seated rows for about 3 sets of 10 to 12 reps. So that would be enough for your back. Now that you've covered your back, you have to train your biceps, because pull day is for back and your bicep. And for bicep, I would suggest you guys to start with a neutral bicep curl. Do that for 3 or 4 sets with 8 to 12 reps, and then do hammer curls with the neutral grip again for 3 or 4 sets, 10 to 12 reps. So that's for your biceps. And to finish off your pull day, pick some heavy weight. When I say heavy, don't go too heavy, but heavier than what you're using for your bicep curls, and do shrugs, right? So shrugs will give you that cramps. So that's for your pull day. And again, for your leg day, I don't really train leg that much. Even these days, all I do is squats and deadlifts. I don't do anything else. Sometimes I do Bulgarian split squats, but that's it. So for legs, you can definitely do squats I wouldn't suggest you guys to perform deadlifts. Don't do deadlifts, but you can do squats. And you can do Romanian deadlifts with dumbbells if you want. And use the machines for leg press, hamstring curls, quad raises, and calf raises. And you should be pretty good. So now that you have your push, pull, and leg day, just go to the gym 5 times a week. So you can go to the gym starting Monday. So Monday would be your push day, Tuesday would be your pull day. Take Wednesday off and go to the gym on Thursday for push, Friday for pull, and Saturday for legs. That should be pretty much enough. So don't come at me and say, I want to grow my shoulders faster. I want to grow my biceps. I want to prioritize my biceps. If you're a beginner, don't do that shit. Try to have a basic, balanced workout. After about like 3 or 4 or 5 months, only then you will notice some muscles in your body which are not growing that much, and only at that point you want to change your workout routine to prioritize each individual muscle. For example, these days I'm focusing more on my traps and my arms, so I train them more rigorously with more exercises, but I never did any of that when I first started going to the gym. So only when you build that foundation you'll be able to know which muscle groups you're lacking in growth. First, follow a simple plan, just like what I just told you guys, or even ask your trainer for a workout routine and then do your own research on all of the exercises that are mentioned in that plan, and then finalize and come up with a plan on your own. And utilize that balanced routine for the first 6 months and then make changes to it according to your needs. Alright, so now I have covered everything that you need to know about getting started with going to the gym. You know everything about diet, you know everything about how to find a gym and how to spend 0 rupees or dollars to get started. You also know what to do in your first 3 months. I also gave you a balanced plan to follow when you have learned everything. And now there are 2 more things that you should follow or need to know if you want to, really grow your muscles. And the first one is sleep. You need to prioritize your sleep. So what really happens is that it's only during your sleep your muscle recovery happens. So you go train, you come back and you sleep, that's when your body truly recovers. So if you don't really sleep that much, if you don't get at least 7, 6, 8 hours of sleep, you're always gonna feel tired, dizzy. It's not good, it's not good. So always try to sleep as much as you can. And then the next thing is about being disciplined and being really consistent with going to the gym. Like in the intro, I told you that I had a few breaks in between throughout my 2.5, 3 years of working out and whatnot. So if I did not have any breaks in between, I would probably have like a Hollywood body right now. So having breaks in between and being inconsistent will halt your progress, and if your diet is also bad, you will also probably lose some muscle, and then you will have to start over again. So you have to be really consistent and disciplined with your diet and your exercises. So if you're not ready for that mental challenge, then this is not for you. You will never be successful with going to the gym, and you will probably not get that body you always wanted. So I'm not gonna sit here and tell you the importance of discipline and consistency, and I'm not gonna be your father and tell you to go to the gym, do that, do this. If you want it, you'll get it. So it's just that if you really want a good body, you will have it. So those are the last 2 things that I want to talk about: the importance of sleep and the importance of discipline and being consistent with whatever you're doing. So I have given you guys everything that you need to know as a beginner. Again, I'm emphasizing the fact that all of this is for a beginner. If you're an intermediary, this video will not help you at all. So if you're a beginner, now you have everything. All you have to do is just get started. And I also received a few questions on Instagram when I posted on Instagram stories that I'm making this video. So the first question is how to know what workout to do for that day. You don't just do something on that day, you just follow your plan. So first you come up with a plan, like the plan that I gave you. On Monday you would be doing push day, on Tuesday would be pull day, Wednesday it's rest, and so forth, right? So you make a plan and then you just stick to it. So let's say on Tuesday you were not able to go to the gym, then just treat that as your rest day and then follow everything up. Like do your pull day on Wednesday and then push day on Thursday and so on. So it's just use your common sense for all those things. So the second question is how to create a workout table for my body type. So by body type, if you mean like skinny fat or overweight, then again the workout routine would not change. Like there's no benefit of changing the workout plan, but it's more of the diet that would change, and I have already covered that in the diet section. So if you're overweight or if you're fat, then you should probably get on a calorie deficit. And if you are working out and going to the gym, just follow the same workout plan I just mentioned, but on top of that, maybe do some cardio. So that will help you lose that fat quickly. If you're lean or skinny, you don't even have to do that. So that's that. So the next question is, do I need to take creatine? Okay, so in this video, I never really talked about any supplements because as a beginner, you don't even have to consider supplements. Now, I've been taking creatine for a year, and I've been taking whey protein for more than a year now. I take supplements. I also take some vitamin tablets, but you don't really have to. And the question is about creatine. So let's just understand what creatine really is. Creatine is a supplement that helps you retain more water content in your muscle. That's it. So it really adds more volume to your muscle. That's all it does. Your body will be storing more water in it. So water retention will be higher. That's all. So that's creatine. And it will give you that visual appearance of being a little bit more bigger because of the volume that it adds. So your weight will also go up, but it's just liquid. It's just fluids, it's just water. So it's not actually muscle. You're not gaining more muscle, although it helps in muscle gain and muscle growth. It's not what you see or what you weigh, that's not muscle gain. It's just liquid, it's just fluids, it's just water. So you don't really need creatine when you're starting out. And that question is followed by another question. It's been 1 month I'm hitting the gym, but I can't even gain weight. So if it's been 1 month since you've been going to the gym and if you cannot gain weight, see, gaining weight does not have any relation to the gym. Gaining weight is all about your eating habit and your diet. So I personally know the person who asked me this question, and he's a very skinny guy. So the reason why he's not gaining weight is because he's not eating more. He's not on a calorie surplus. So like I mentioned in the diet section, if you're following a high calorie diet, you will 100% gain weight. And going to the gym will only add to it as you're increasing your muscle. And if you're not taking enough protein, then the amount of muscle that you put up in your body will also be less. So you will only gain so much muscle mass. Like it is really related to the amount of protein that you consume, but the overall size or weight that you gain is really dependent on the diet that you follow. The muscle gain only constitutes to a very small portion of your weight gain. So that's something that you have to understand. So if you tell me that, you know, it's been 1 month since you're going to the gym and you cannot see any gain in terms of weight, then you should probably recheck your diet and, you know, work on your diet instead of changing your workout routine. And the final question is how to bulk up. So again, if you want to bulk up, go on a calorie surplus, take as much protein as you can so that you can also grow your muscle along with it. Because like I said, when you're bulking up, everything that you gain is not muscle. A lot of fat also comes with it. So when you're bulking up, go on a calorie surplus and work out hard in the gym and try to take as much protein as you can. If you're taking creatine, well and good, because, you know, fluid weight, water weight, adds more volume, looks good, weighs more, perfect. So those were a few of the Instagram questions that I got. I think I've covered everything. So if you have any more questions or anything, I'll leave my Instagram link down in the description, so you can go follow me there, DM me, or you can respond to the questions whenever I put some question on there. So yeah, these are all the things that I wanted to cover in this video for a long time now, and I'm pretty happy that I did. So yes, that's about it. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section, and see you in the next video. Bye.